again, I am Dr. Jasmine Dowding, and I am sharing with you my top tips for Black students in higher education. Now, in my first video, I talked about the importance of community, of having a support network at home with your family, friends, role models and mentors. But I also talked about the importance of having a support network at university as well, and that's absolutely important. So today I'm going to share with you another tip in relation to all of the documentation that you get, especially at the beginning of a new course and the beginning of a new year, your first year especially, because it can be very overwhelming. But let me just say this, while I am sharing these top tips for Black students in higher education, you will become, most of it, you're going to hear it anyway. You're going to hear this from tutors, you're going to hear it from lecturers, you're going to hear this. But the reason why I am sharing it with you as Black students is because in all of my years working as a lecturer, I've had Black students, and it's not that Black students don't do it, it's just that sometimes what Black students need is they need someone whom they can identify with. They need someone who understands where they are coming from, who understands their culture, the challenges that they face, that are not necessarily known or understood by others from different cultural backgrounds. And so this is important for me because I have, even since leaving academia, leaving university, I have been contacted by a number of students, Black students, who are going through difficulties and they don't know what to do. And I've been able to share my experience, some advice that's helped to reassure them or pointed them in the right direction. So I'm using these videos really to say to you, as a Black academic who researches and has researched and published in the area of Black academic success and race equality, diversity, inclusion and social justice, listen to what I'm saying because I know what I'm talking about. So there will be others, I'm sure, from other cultural backgrounds who will benefit from this, but these videos are specifically for you as Black students. So my tip number 2, or number 3, I guess, but this is my second video. So my tip for you today is to read the documentation. Now, most universities are sharing online documents. Some universities may still print hard copies, but one of the problems I have found with students in general is they don't read the documentation because they're too busy, they've got too much to do, they haven't got time. But I can tell you, as someone who's been head of a Bachelor of Education degree and run that program and devised the booklets, created the booklets, put the information in the booklets, head of a PGCE primary program, I have, contributed to putting the booklets together. The information that is put together is important. That's why we put it in the booklets or put it in the online documents. So my first advice is that you read it. If it's in hard copy, get a highlighter pen and highlight all the important bits. If it's online, you can usually download them as a document, maybe a PDF, and that you should be able to find a way of highlighting in the document and then recording all the important dates. Many booklets will have submission dates in there. They will work backwards from the exam date or the submission date of an assignment to if the lecturer will give you a draft, will give you an opportunity to submit a draft so that they can look at a draft and give you feedback on it. It will have that date. You will have dates of when tutorials will be available. And so you need to record that, make a note of that in your calendar, in your diary, on your phone, wherever, so that you can remember those dates. The other thing about the booklets, the handbooks, program guides, whatever your university calls them, is that they will have information about what to do if you have mitigating circumstances. Now, mitigating circumstances is a phrase that's used to cover any issue, challenge, problem that might be taking place in your life that is affecting your ability to complete the work, whether that's to complete an assignment on time, whether that's because you just need to ask for an extension. The mitigating circumstances policy is very important. So it's important to read that. There will also be links to the university's diversity and equality statement. There will be links to the appeals process, the structure of the program that you are on, who the key people are, what the key numbers are, administrators that you can contact. There will be information in there on student support. So there is it's a gold mine of information. So my tip for you today: read the guidance that you are given, the booklets, the program booklet, each course booklet. Take the time to read them, because life happens. Things go wrong. And sometimes by the time a student comes to me, I was deputy director of a school of education, and often by the time a student would come to me, it was kind of at the desperate stage. Sometimes the deadlines had passed, and I could only advise them to go through an appeals process. Whereas if they had looked in the booklet, got the information, or knew where to find the information, then they could have addressed whatever the issue is, and it wouldn't have needed to get to the point of an appeal or to get to the point of a complaint. So my advice to you is please read the documents. Now, if you have questions, do put them in the comments, and I will do my best to respond to them.